All Things Tech.
And welcome back to All Things Tech. If you want to hear more shows like this one, join us at www.truthbook.tk. Stream freely on any device available through our website, YouTube, and on SoundCloud as well. In tonight's program, we'll be going over the life and death of Princess Diana, conspiracy theories that go into not just her death, but her life as well. Suspicions that even she was having. Should be a good program. We'll have lines opened up so anyone can join in. If you guys are ready to get started, we can go ahead and get started.
I am here. Is anybody here that wants to hear the show? If not, come on guys, let's talk. Alright, first of all, who is all in here listening so I know? I always do like a roll call.
Okay, my lovely Shani, my sister with no bloodline, but I still call you my sister. I am here. Boston, I guess, is really busy today. He'll probably stop in and give us a shout, but I'm here to help.
We have a few people in here that are working, but they really want to listen to the show and all about Lady Diana.
Okay. Let's rock and roll.
Okay. Today's topic is Lady Diana, what she was before. She was called Princess Diana, and as people know, she was actually the most loved people princess in England, and she did have a tragic death, which people are saying. Some people say it's murder, some people say it's not. A lot of controversy around there, but everybody would think being a princess and all that, and she would have had a happy life, but she was really miserable.
I have something up on Google right now. Lady Diana was born as Diana Spencer on July 1st, 1961. And let's see, Princess Diana became Lady Diana Spencer after her family inherited the title of Earl Spencer in 1975. She married heir to British throne Prince Charles on July 29th, 1981. They had 2 sons and later divorced in 1996. So there we start, and it's on you, Shan.
My Google's acting really stupid today. There's a new thing that they just had 19 hours ago. It's called Princess Diana's Life, Love, and Legacy. Again, in the limelight. It was just posted 19 hours ago, so let's see what this is about. Alright, Princess Diana's Life, Loves, and Legacy again in the limelight as her anniversary of death approaches. Yes, it's the anniversary of death and her birthday. So I think it's been 20 years. Her items on display in palaces, old photos have been made public, and a string of TV shows are being broadcast, each with tiny tidbits of new information. There's a lot of new information coming out because it's been 20 years since she's died, about the private life of the people princess. Royal reporters said insiders insist the 20th anniversary of her untimely demise was always going to be a big deal. While this documentary reportedly shows Diana speaking relatively uncensored about bulimia, Camilla, and Prince Charles. So I actually didn't realize that August 31st is the anniversary of her death.
Hey, Shani, I found 17 things that we did not know about Princess Di, starting when she was young. You want me to fill you in?
Of course, we can always learn more.
Hey, she was homeschooled until age 9. She comes from, what they say at the time, it was common for upper-class children to be taught at home by a tutor. After her parents' divorce, Diana attended Riddlesworth Hall in Norfolk, where her family resided. At age 12, she was sent to an exclusive boarding school called the West High School? Health School, sorry. She was not known as a strong student, After failing 2 exams, she left the West Health School when she was 16. Her father enrolled her in a Swedish finishing school, but she insisted on returning home.
Wow, really? That's stuff I really didn't know about her. But I don't think Daddy was done. I think she got the money.
Okay, after leaving the finishing school in Sweden, Diana worked part-time as a cleaning woman and a babysitter before finding a job at the Young English School.
Finishing schools are very big in England. There's actually a few in the United States too.
Oh, here's something good too. She wanted to be a ballerina. She studied ballet as a child, but became too tall to continue to excel. But her love of classical dance led her to become a big supporter of the English National Ballet until her death. She greets ballerinas at the Royal Albert Hall before a performance of Swan Lake.
Really, that's something I did not know. See, you can learn a lot of things about somebody that you don't have a clue.
Amazing. Here's something too. Her grandmother, Ruth Fermoy, Fermoy, I guess that's how it's pronounced, was a lady in waiting to the Queen Mother, the royal family, for nearly 40 years. She was the closest friend of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. She had many assumed to encourage the marriage of her granddaughter. However, they denied this, and it was reported that Diana was not on speaking terms with Lady Fermoy, who died in 1993.
Wow, I didn't know all that. Yeah. Alright, right here. When did Princess Diana die? Princess Diana was killed in a horrific car crash on Sunday, August 31st, 1997. She was aged just 36 years old. How did the Princess Diana die? Diana and her boyfriend, Dodi Fayed, had arrived in Paris in a private jet just after 3 p.m. on Saturday, August 30th, having spent the preceding week holidaying in Sardinia. They planned to return to London the following morning, where Diana would have been reunited with her sons, Prince William, then 15, and Prince Harry, then 12. When the couple walked off the plane at Lee Ballet Airfield, they were greeted by Henry Paul, the deputy head of security at the Ritz Hotel, and a parade of French paparazzi, which I do remember hearing this, who had been tipped off by the Italian colleagues. Dodi asked her driver to lose the photographs, so at 4:35 p.m. they arrived at the Ritz. In the evening, Dodi left the hotel to pick up a ring he ordered from a nearby jeweler. And at 7 p.m., the couple left via the back exit to go to his apartment just off Chapslease Road. Later, they attempted to go out for dinner, but were followed by some 30 photographers, forcing them to abort their plans. Diana and Dodi returned to the Ritz just before 10 p.m. and sat down to eat at the hotel restaurant. Diana was reportedly visibly upset by the stress of the day, and the couple retreated to their suite. At 12:20 a.m., the princess and her boyfriend left the Ritz. Why would they leave at 12:30 a.m., right? 12:20 a.m., and the princess had left the Ritz in a Mercedes S28. It had been decided that Henry would drive the couple in an unmarked car, while the Mercedes and Range Rover that they have used earlier in the day would be sent out as decoys to trick the paparazzi. However, Diana and Dodi were photographed as they left the hotel with Henry and a bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones. At 12:25 a.m., their car crashed into a 13th pillar of the Almond Tunnel, killing Henry Dodi instantly. Photographer Romain Bratt was the first person at the scene, arriving seconds after the crash. The car, I will show a picture of the car in a couple minutes, but it's very, 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 it's horrible looking. Emergency services arrived at 12:28 a.m., but encountered difficulties quartering off the accident from the paparazzi. So I did not know that. I did not know that they could not get to her. 8 photographers were arrested at the scene and questioned. Diana suffered a cardiac arrest at... I didn't know this one either. Diana suffered a cardiac arrest at Point of the Alma and was taken to the hospital by ambulance at 1:25 a.m., an hour after the crash. The princess died from her injuries. See, I never knew how long it took. The princess died from her injuries at the hospital at 4 a.m. See, the crash took place at 1:25 a.m., but she didn't die at 4 a.m. Trevor Reese Jones was the only survivor of the crash. Right there, the whole entire day, there was a lot of speculation all about the paparazzi. She was the most chased one out of anybody in America, anywhere. They just would not leave her alone. And honestly, it was just horrifying. If you saw that picture of the car, I had to try to see if I can find it and get it on the channel. It was really bad.
Yeah, the media blamed the paparazzi, but there was a French investigation, 18-month investigation that Wikipedia mentions, found out that it was actually caused by Paul, who lost control of the car because he was driving drunk that night, and he's the deputy head of security at the Hotel Ritz. And he even goaded the paparazzi waiting outside the hotel, Wikipedia says, which is like to antagonize them.
Yeah, that is actually what they said, but there's since it's our 20th year anniversary, people are still getting into the conspiracies, getting into was she really killed. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Alright. After the ceremony, Diana was laid to rest at the Spencer family home. She was buried on an island in the middle of a lake with her immediate family present. Really, really quick. The court found Henry Paul and the paparazzi who pursued the princess car were both blamed for the crash. Blood taken from Henry's body had shown that he was nearly 3 times over the French legal drive limit. See, they did not have seatbelts on.
No, there's just, there's some more facts, which is kind of strange. This one here kind of really puzzles me. Diana didn't know Charles first. It was her sister, Lady Sarah Spencer, and she met him, Lady Diana met him when she was 16. Funny. And she married him at 19, or she married him at age 20. And he was 12 years older than her, which is not a big surprise. I think she started off on the wrong foot with the Queen straight from the beginning, you know. She's the one that picked out her own engagement ring, too. Geez, that thing is pretty. 12-carat sapphire set in white gold with 14 solitaire. Oh, diamonds. Pretty ring.
And one of our users, he just posted a letter in Diana's own handwriting, if you look at it.
Yeah, the letter was sent to Paul Burrell, the princess's then butler, in October 1993, 10 months after her separation from Prince Charles was announced. There's a little bit that the photograph didn't show, I believe, but she wrote, "I'm sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car, brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him to marry Tiggy. Camilla is nothing but a decoy, so we are all being used by the man in every sense of the word." Yeah, that's what the letter said.
Well, Dottie, did you hear that? I've heard that she was afraid of that, but I've never seen the letter. Did you ever hear that, Dottie?
Yeah, I have heard of some of her writings. She was afraid of Charles, and now the woman that he has been presently involved with, the one that he was cheating with, she is in fear of her life also, and she has around-the-clock security so that something doesn't happen to her. Although I'm not real sure that Prince Charles really had anything to do with the murder of Diana. I'm looking more towards someone else in the royal family because, her and the Queen did not see eye to eye on anything because she went against her so much. And I don't think the Queen, you don't go against the Queen. She ruled her sons, as far as I'm concerned, with an iron fist. And as far as I'm concerned, I think she's a cold-hearted, I won't say, but, she wears the pants in the family. What Mama says, everybody does. And it's never really going to come out, but I will snap a picture of her. It's a very pretty picture.
I'm back. We're in the middle of the show. What's this week's topic?
We started late, so we didn't start till 20 of 1, so it'll probably be going on until like 1:40. It is Lady Diana. All about her life, not only about her death and the controversy, but just all about her life and how unhappy she was. We have already found out a lot of information about it.
I guess you mean Princess Diana, right?
Her original name was called Lady Diana. That's why we put it down on the thing as Lady Diana. That's what she was before she married Prince Charles. Her name was Lady Diana. Did you know that, Navy?
Like her literal first name was Lady? Okay, cool.
Oh, no. Her name was Diana, but they called her Lady Diana. Like her sisters were also called Lady because her family was kind of like a royalty. Dottie explained it. So that's why they had the name Lady in front of them. She was Lady Diana, and her sisters were, I forget, they were actually ladies too because of their family.
I'm sorry to jump in and interrupt, but as a new user that was just added to the room a couple of hours ago, could I get somebody to explain a little bit about what's going on at the moment?
I believe the title was Lady Diana Spencer, and it was due to her father being an earl or something like that.
I meant more in terms of the news updates and the discussions. Is this a specific event or something? I wasn't listening for about 20 minutes, so...
Okay, I can explain. Basically, every day we have at least 2 shows at some point in the day. Normally one in the middle of the day and one at night. And they're just about random topics, and I think they're posting up pictures of the calendar, maybe. No, they're not. Okay, somebody will post up a picture of the calendar. But it's at set times of the day. It's normally for about an hour where we talk about one specific subject. All other times of the day, it is an open topic channel.
Understood. Thank you very much. I appreciate the insight.
Yes, we have daytime programs and nighttime programs. They're very popular. But yes, it was because of her father. That's why she was called that.
I posted a couple pictures in there of Lady Diana if you'd like to take a peek at them.
Much appreciated.
I've always heard that she was a very beautiful woman back when she was still alive.
Yeah, she was only 36 when she died. There are the pictures. She was absolutely beautiful. Everybody said how beautiful she was. It is the 20th anniversary of her death on August 31st. So there is it's all stirred up again. There is so many documentaries coming out. There are conspiracy theories. Everything is totally already is stirred up again because of this 20th anniversary coming up on the 31st of August.
Let me ask you this, and I know you've probably been, you're deep into the show and whatnot, and you probably already explained it. Give me a very, very brief synopsis. How did she die? What is the story out there right now of how she died? I don't want you to go into the conspiracy theories, just the story.
Which is funny is I didn't go into the conspiracy theories, but I just told the story 10 minutes ago. Hang on.
Wasn't it a plane crash or something?
No, it was a traffic collision. I actually read the whole thing earlier. Hang on, I'm trying to find the one I read.
Well, I'm not going to make you read it again. Sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to know, like, basically what happened, because I remembered hearing about it, but I don't remember what happened.
Well, here's something right quick I'm going to read really quick. This was just posted 18 minutes ago. There's stuff posted like every couple minutes because of the thing. Princess Diana's death. How did Princess Diana die, and when did she die? I'll just do a quick thing of it. Diana, Princess of Wales, died from serious injuries after a terrible car crash in Paris at about 12:22 a.m. on August 31st, 1997. Her then boyfriend Dodi Fayed, the son of Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Alfred, and her driver Henry Paul also died in a crash. Only Princess Diana's bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, survived in the crash after Mercedes struck a pillar in the Almer underpass near the scene. Mr. Paul hit the pillar after losing control of the Mercedes as he tried to shake off paparazzi photographs chasing them in cars. Princess Diana went into cardiac arrest at about 2:10 a.m. or 1:25 a.m. it said earlier, so it's like there, and was pronounced dead at 4 a.m. at the hospital in Paris. After the crash, police tests found that alcohol in Mr. Paul's blood, he was the one driving, was nearly 3 times the French limit. In 2008, an jury at the Royal Court Justice ruled that Princess and her boyfriend Dodi were unlawfully killed. But also the story goes behind it that they were chased by paparazzi all day long, and they weren't even going to go out. So what they were trying to do is sneak out and not let in and on my car and not let's say the paparazzi chased them. So what happened was the paparazzi was chasing them, and apparently this driver, the one that was drunk, went too quick and he hit like a pillar. I'm trying to get the picture up of the car. You would not believe how bad it looked. I saw it on Google, but I'm not on the same phone that as the picture. But so yeah, and even when the crash happened, like Dodi and the bodyguard were killed. Dodi and the driver were killed instantly. The bodyguard was the only survivor. They couldn't even get to the car because of the paparazzi. 8 of them were arrested on scene for not letting them even get to the ambulance people get to the car.
Yeah, so, like, I know you said you wasn't interested in the conspiracy theories, Navy, but they took like an hour to give her medical attention. But there was a letter that I put into the history, and it was in Diana's hand, and she was predicting that an accident was going to happen in the car. She felt like her life was in danger. I haven't got the image again because I took a picture of my wife's phone, but if anybody else is able to repost it to show Navy, that might help.
Is it at all possible that she realized that the would-be chauffeur was drunk off his ass, and so she wrote that letter in case something happened?
The letter was wrote way before the chauffeur, but there it is, right there.
And incidentally, if you do watch any more documentaries about it, there was Illuminati symbolism at the top of the tunnel, and there is a documentary out there which is pointing towards foul play.
I think it was. I think all they were trying to do was take her out of the picture because Prince Charles didn't want her to get none of his money.
Right. A lot of it had to do with her boyfriend, Dodi Alfred. They didn't want her to marry a Muslim, and that was like one of the conspiracies right there, because he was actually supposed to ask her to marry him that night. He went and bought a ring.
And rumour has it that she was actually pregnant, and they embalmed her body really, really quickly, and they didn't give her a postmortem.
I heard they were paid off to do that before she get the pregnancy test, but there are rumors that they did have like pregnancy tests that she was pregnant.
So like you said, they probably didn't like the idea of her marrying a Muslim, and probably even less so, of a Muslim child.
That's the tunnel, right? That's a picture of the tunnel where the accident happened?
Yeah, and apparently there's something significant about the thing on the top. I think that it is the same thing that the Statue of Liberty has on the torch. I think it's actually a representation, a reproduction of the flame. I can't remember what was being said in the documentary, but they were linking it all up. to all this symbolism.
Yeah, the Illuminati think that they're the light bearers, so that's one of their symbols, one of many. But they covered up that picture. It's hard to find that picture where you can see that over the tunnel, and they actually put bushes over it now. And a lot of the pictures on Google, they cropped it right there so you can't see that.
Right, I've heard they have done that. There was a special that everybody should have watched. I actually DVR'd. They will be playing it again on July 31st on Monday. It was on TLC. It was called Princess Diana Tragedy or Treason. And it has, they're going to replay it again this week. I can find out when the replay is. But I DVR'd it, but I haven't watched it yet. It went, we're really into conspiracy theories. And it was actually, I heard, very good. That just aired on Monday. And I think they're replaying either today or tomorrow. But I will find it out if anybody wants to see it.
After the show's over, I have a good suggestion for a possibility for next week's show. It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually buying into a little bit.
All right, Navy. We got about I think we start late. It's about 1:40. We could discuss that. Okay, was Princess Diana murdered plus more conspiracy theories discussed in the new TLC special, Princess Diana: Tragedy or Treason? Even 2 decades after Princess Diana's untimely August 1997 death, royal fans are still asking emotional questions after 20 years about People's Princess passing due to countless conspiracy theories. Over the years, many people around the world have wondered, for example, if the mother of two was murdered, or, this is what he was just talking about, or she was pregnant at the time of her death. Was Princess Diana murdered? A car crash that tragically killed Diana on August 31st, 1977 in Paris also killed her boyfriend Dodi and Henry Paul. The fourth person in the car, Diana's bodyguard Trevor Jones, miraculously survived the fatal accident. At the time, the crash was ruled a drunk driving accident. Blood alcohol concentration tests later revealed Diana's driver, Henry, had consumed the equivalent of 10 glasses of wine before getting behind the wheel that night. The vehicle Henry was driving reportedly reached 120 miles per hour while it was trying to escape the hordes of paparazzi following the car. So the paparazzi were also blamed. A lot of them were arrested. After the death of his son, Dodi, he actually owns, his father owns Harold's, the big department store, but I think he sold it. Launched his own private investigation into the crash. I can't stop until I find the truth. I will pursue it everywhere, every place in France, England, and this is the right of a father who lost his child. Mohammed said in a previous interview featured in a new TV special, Princess Diana: Tragedy or Treason. Mohammed believes there was a massive effort by French authorities to quickly cover up the crime scene evidence and prove Diana and Dodi were murdered by the UK Secret Intelligence Service, commonly known as the M16, which I've heard of that before. A man named Richard Tomlinson, who was a former MI6 agent, additionally told Mohammed at the time that British intelligence had recently perfected their techniques for the vehicle assassination, leading all Fayyad's accusations of the murder to reach an all-time high. See? In addition, rumors swirled following Diana's death that her driver Henry was possibly working with the MI6 to carry out the princess assassination in Princess Diana: Tragedy or Treason. Experts explained that Henry was missing for several hours prior to getting behind the wheel. I do remember them saying that. Behind the wheel was found a substantial amount of cash in his pockets after his passing. Had nearly 300,000 more than his 35,000 per year royal salary in the bank. Furthermore, expert alleged that Henry's toxicology reports could have been tampered with after his death to make it seem that he was drunk at the time of his crash when he actually may have been sober. So what did Dodi's father, Mohammed, believe was the motivation behind Diana and Dodi's alleged murders? He suggested the couple was killed because of their romance was getting increasingly serious. Dodi had reportedly recently purchased a diamond ring for Diana and was thought to be planning to propose. Mohammed additionally thought the royal family did not want Diana to date Dodi because he was Egyptian and a Muslim. But the thing with the pregnancy, nobody knows if she was actually pregnant or not. So I don't know. From what I read, it looks like they may have destroyed some evidence.
What best conspiracy happens without disturbing or getting rid of? very, very hard evidence of something that they don't want people to know or ever to find out. Make it disappear.
Very, very true, Boston. They make a lot of things disappear. Like, we've already uncovered a lot of really, like, good information. Like, one of the users, he had a letter that was written in Diana's handwriting. I'll share it with you. He's afraid for her life.
I can't imagine driving at 120 miles per hour through one of those tunnels. And I'm also wondering, was it one of those electronic cars that can be controlled? Because we've all heard those stories, haven't we, where people have crashes because the vehicle has become out of their control. And we hear stories that vehicles can be controlled remotely. I wonder if it was one of those.
They'll never really say that. I highly doubt it. Too far back for that to actually be a thing. The driver being intoxicated is an iffy thing. You're never really going to know the truth about that. The whole thing behind everything, if you look at like footage and pictures that happened like during and after the accident, and this is why it had to be declared an accident, but the paparazzi cannot and will never claim that they're not at fault, because the paparazzi was chasing them, trying to get photos of them two together, flying down a highway at very high rates of speed. That has been proven. That they'll all admit guilt to the end. They have no choice, because there's proof of it. And the accident that was caused was because the driver lost control. That's how everyone died. The boyfriend, Diana, and the driver. They were all killed.
Yeah, but why would they seal off the tunnel and not allow medical services to get to them for an hour?
That was true, Boston. The 8 of the paparazzi, they were arrested because they sealed off the tunnel because nobody could get to her for an hour. None of the medical services. That was actually proven true.
That's just interfering with the scene of an accident that led to a death. I mean, more or less, they could probably go by, and charge the individual people that were there and got arrested for it. But as you probably have noticed, there's never been anything really about that. Maybe some lawsuits that were settled out of court. But, I mean, they're preventing medical services from helping 2 people that are, or 3 people that are very seriously injured. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they actually were presented, but people are saying that maybe it was the people hired to do it. They actually said that, when I was reading when you came in, they were actually saying that they thought the driver that was killed was actually working for the MI16, which is the task force in London. But we don't know. See, that's the thing. And there was also a 4th survivor. That was the bodyguard Trevor. He survived the crash.
Well, the other thing that they probably won't mention, the driver was probably another bodyguard. You're never gonna see, Princess Diana by herself. Not just one security guard. It never happened. There was other security guards around. That's the thing. There's a whole bunch of information. If you know what you know what you're talking about. I don't care. She was like the president of the United States. Tell me he can't take a piss without at least 10 security guards around his door making sure no one's going to try to kill him. Thank you. Point proven. I'll be back.
That's right, Boston. Absolutely right. Because she was never could go without bodyguards ever. Picture of the car, guys, if you look at that.
And there has been some ghostly activity about Diana. She was seen in ghostly image at Prince William's wedding, and in the castle, and in another church. Interesting.
I think some celebrities, let alone somebody like her, sometimes just get sick of the popularity and just don't want to be followed anymore, or don't want to deal with everybody paying so much attention to them. So something like this happens, then nobody's looking for her and they try to blend back into a normal society, which really isn't possible, but they try.
And that's what they did. They tried to blend back in, but the paparazzi wouldn't let them go. It's just like the whole day before she died. But I read like everything she did, and she was so stressed out just because they followed her everywhere. They said she was the most followed celebrity of all time. Here's something interesting. When was the last photos taken of Princess Diana? The final photos of Diana are thought to have taken inside Paris Point D tunnel by paparazzi who were dangerously pursuing the princess when she was killed. Though Diana's face is not visible in the pictures, she can be seen crouching down behind the vehicle's back seat alongside boyfriend Dodi, while driver Henry and Diana's bodyguard Trevor were seated in the front car.
I'm not entirely familiar with how the security works there, but I know when the President of the United States travels anywhere, they're in a convoy of 4 or 5 identical vehicles, and it is completely restricted as to what vehicle they're traveling in, and there's always a motorcade of police and everybody around them. Why? Is there a particular reason that there was not any police presence or anything more than just them being in a vehicle?
Yeah, it's because she was just a princess. She was already divorced from him, so the police were not there. So it was just security that she had. So there wasn't a motorcade because they were just going to his apartment. So there was no police involved at all to even give them a motorcade. I think when she was actually Princess Diana and she would go out with the family, then there was a motorcade.
Yeah, she lost some of her privileges when they got divorced. But because she was a princess and her children were royalties to the throne, they had to protect her and her children by law, just like any of the presidents. You know, their wives get protection, their children get protection for the rest of their lives. They have no choice about it. Even though they're no longer president or no longer princess or whatever way you want to look at it. And my friend Brandon, I think it said, let me see. Oh, Butterfly. We'll call you Brad. I don't know who you are. It says right in the rules and regulations, unless I was out of the truck and I didn't hear you, they don't send friend requests. I'm an asshole. I'll tell you straight up.
Yeah, like her children weren't with her. If her children was with her, there would have been even more security than what she had. So she just had a security guard. And there was no motorcade or anything like that because she was alone at the moment there. But it's really interesting, all the stuff about it, you know. And that she was not happy with her life, even with her marriage, you know. It was actually basically an arranged marriage from what I said, because he was, the queen actually picked Diana for Charles at first.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing, you gotta laugh about it too, you know, you kind of say he had something to do with her death, you know, and then he goes and marries Camilla, or whatever the hell you want to call her, but part of the deal with that is, she would, of course, be a princess, but she'd never have any reign to the throne. But he also had to drop his reign to the throne because if his kids were not old enough to become king or queen, well, he had 2 boys, of course, but if his kids weren't old enough to be king, they would have had to put someone in temporarily, but it wouldn't be able to be him because he had to renounce the throne when he got remarried.
No, I didn't know that. I know she wasn't allowed to be called princess or anything, but her name is I think it was, oh shoot, something Windsor Camilla. I have to look, but it was not princess. She did have a title.
Yeah, she has a title. It's not princess. I can't remember what it was, but it's similar to being called a princess. It's very similar. It's just not an actual princess.
Yeah, Camilla Parker Bowles is her name, and she's the Duchess of Cornwall.
That's it, the Duchess of Cornwall. Once she married Prince Charles. That's exactly right. But you know, when she was married to, when Prince Charles was married to Diana, and she was married to her husband, which I can't remember his name. There was always said that they never stopped seeing each other.
That'd be some funny shit. They actually had some, illegitimate a couple of kids that out of wedlock. I mean, talk about some spice of the fire, huh?
I'm telling you, I'm waiting for some kind of love child thing to come out or something in this. It hasn't yet, but I'm waiting. Here's just something interesting I would like to say here. Prince Charles and Diana, Princess of Wales, formally separated in December 1992, but it took almost 4 years to finalize the much-disputed divorce. Their lawyers haggled over money and access, but one of the most painful disagreements involved Diana's title. That's when Prince William, just barely a teenager, tried to confront his wounded mother. As the mother of the future heir, the divorce wanted to keep the styling Her Royal Highness, even though Queen Elizabeth II agreed to the condition. But Charles was adamant about denying his ex-wife the privilege, according to the New York Times.
Sorry, I'll have to cut in here. Looks like that's all the time we have, but thank you for listening to All Things Tech. Upcoming shows will be coming soon with many interesting topics. We'll be having a Hollow Earth debate following the 2017 Flat Earth debate that was already posted, as well as some shows regarding marijuana legalization, not just in the USA, but worldwide. So if you want to hear more shows like this one, join us at www.truthbook.tk. Free streams are available on the website, YouTube, and SoundCloud. But again, thank you for listening to All Things Tech.